Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. I got the distinct privilege and honor to tell you we finally have gameplay footage for the new Virtua Fighter project. And it's some pretty banger stuff. Last few days have been very, very good to Virtua Fighter. And of course, we're gonna break it all down. If you didn't see a lot of the big Virtua Fighter 5 news, because Virtua Fighter 6, new Virtua Fighter, is coming, but it's probably a whiles out. Virtua Fighter 5, though, still going strong. We got it all covered for you in this video. Basically, a new version of Virtua Fighter 5 is coming out. It's going to be on all systems, cross-play with everything, and even new features, including an all-new single-player mode. What you're seeing here came straight out of EVO 2025, and in fact, as soon as it aired, I'm like, oh, well, and I got an Uber back to the hotel to make this very video. EVO is very fun and all, but we got to talk about Virtua Fighter, don't we? So this isn't the biggest trailer by any stretch. We're going to get more at the Tokyo Gameshow, which is not far away. That's going to be later in September, but still, this gives us a very good idea of how the game's going to play. So let's dig in and break it down. Now, first off, we have the stage. So if you're unaware, this actually is officially the training mode stage. Super high tech, looks like it's in some kind of a warehouse. Now, training stages are just training stages, but there's been high tech stuff in Virtua Fighter before. Generally, any stage, if it's high-tech, definitely means it's linked to Judgment 6, which is kind of the big bad of the Virtua Fighter universe. They are literally the Illuminati. They created the series' longtime standing boss, Dural, and Dural's going to be playable, by the way, in the upcoming Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World stage. And that's going to be weird because she's weird. They even captured the mighty Satan Shark. So Judgment 6 is no joke if they can go toe-to-toe with the Satan Shark. Now, of course, it could just be a training stage, right? But given that it's being made by RGG Studio, the fact that, they actually are known for stories, they can help sass up the admittedly very story-light Virtua Fighter franchise. At bare minimum, though, it looks really cool. And when you see the screens sort of change over right here, right? Visually, that's quite striking. It's good design. It's more than just a regular boring grid. Now, when it comes to gameplay, this is still Virtua Fighter. Say we look here, right? This is just Sarah's forward punch. Although, this isn't Sarah, this is Stella. And we don't know who Stella is exactly yet, other than she looks and plays like Sarah. But there's that, right? So we have that, and we have this here. So, okay, we got a little bit of a launcher. Sarah down, forward, punch and kick, and then into forward, kick and guard, right? And in VF5, anyways, this is a counter hit only launcher, but, new game, new rules, whatever. Although it does hit Akira as a counter hit. And then the hook kick does a little bit of a bound, it bounces him on the ground. But then things get a little bit different. You can do this in Virtua Fighter 5, right? Then this happens. So Stella goes for a sweep or something like that, right? Whiffs, Akira kips up, and we get some slow-mo effects, and then he bops Stella. So, they talked about before, the visual presentation is one of the big things they want to aim for, and this is certainly all new to Virtua Fighter. Not new to fighting games in general. We had slow-mo in Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, you do double drive impact to get slow-mo, but then again, there hasn't been a new Virtua Fighter in about 20 years, so it's their turn at bat. So perhaps when a dramatic whiff happens, and we're going to see that right here as well. So after that block, we get another block, and then Akira goes for palm, and boom, a bit of a backdash into a punch. So more cinematics, more slow-mo, looks dramatic. I'm sure it'll look great for a viewing audience, because it's very clear what's going on. But what is that? I doubt Stella is a sway character. I guess it's not impossible, but I doubt it, right? That's certainly not a regular backdash. So while we've already seen many classic VF things, something like that makes me wonder, is there more under the hood? Are we getting things that aren't classic VF? Are we getting things that are all new? Is this, all new mechanic? Could it be a new button? Is there more buttons besides just punch, kick, guard? Who knows for now, but it's very interesting. You can see Stella go for 2 mega kicks. Akira ducks the second one, and then goes for his long-standing crouching only shoulder attack. So while certainly there's a lot of new things, don't get me wrong, right? But they're not just removing what exists for the existing characters. Although it's still the same shoulder, it does have a new animation. I know there's a big temptation to reuse every old animation, especially because this is RGG Studios and they're sort of famous for it. But even if they're bringing back the classic moves, they're getting a new coat of paint. But now, okay, so Akira gets a knockdown, goes for a forward punch and kick, and gets blocked. But now some magic's happening, sort of actually. So in the past, we've praised this new Virtua Fighter for like hyper-specific block animations, and we're seeing that here. Like, it's not just space, hold up arms, right? Akira's clearly like targeting specific limbs to block here. And that's really cool, but there's also some particle effects going on. Virtua Fighter doesn't do special effects normally. Like, it's very slight. It's not giant explosions like Tekken. But basically, I'm at a crossroads. What is this? This isn't an Akira counter. This is something all new to the game. I don't know what it is, but it's certainly defensive in nature. So once again, it could be some sort of new universal stance. It could be an all new button to the game. Whatever it is, seemingly very strong defensively, and also potentially very strong offensively, because it's going to lead to some other new mechanics. So after this, he gets basically a punish, goes for like punch kick. And then all of a sudden, more particle effects are flying off here. Subdued, not Tekken giant explosions, but more than Virtua Fighter normally does. And then you can see like a debuff or something on Stella, like a damage indicator or something like that. Like, something's clearly wrong for her. This is not good to get hit like this, and it's going to pay dividends as well. So he goes from the punch kick into a little bit of a stance. And in and of itself, that's nothing new for Akira, right? He's been doing stuff like this for a very, very long time. And then after that, seems to go into a bit of a guard break. In Virtua Fighter, a guard break means if you get hit by the guard break, the next hit's effectively guaranteed. Akira is very famous for this. In fact, his guard breaks got nerfed a bit in Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. So guard break, and then this happens. And let me tell you, there ain't nothing like what you're seeing here cinematically in other Virtua Fighters. So whatever this damage state Stella got put into basically primes you for like a deadly blow. As you notice after she gets hit, and then we have all these particle effects and all that, the red state does go away. So it's almost like a setup and a payoff. You get rocked by a big, counterattack or a big punish, and then you're in a danger state. And then you have to kind of really watch out for that next incoming hit. Because if you don't, then we'll go like full cinematic and the character will rip your friggin' head off. Because not only do we get the big hit already like is huge and all new for Virtua Fighter, but from here we get a bit of a crumple state. So Stella's falling to the ground, and then Akira crumples her and hits her again. It's probably a safe bet that all this does a lot of damage. So new defensive mechanics with this seeming parry stance, and then learning that if you get a good punish, you can apply a debuff and cash in the debuff for some big cinematic damage and some big combo damage after the fact. This is all new to Virtua Fighter, and probably a big deal for the game overall. And as Stella's getting up, we see the classic Virtua Fighter wake-up kick, which is nothing new in and of itself, other than the animation is very new. You play any amount of Virtua Fighter over the years, you expect wake-up kicks to look a certain way, right? And then you see this, and that sort of just actually blows my mind. But once again, new game, new animations, it is basically 20 years later after all. After that though, another Virtua Fighter classic, so Akira attempts to throw, but Stella's using a wall crouching attack, so the throw goes over her head. Akira attempts another high, but Stella low profiles the move and wallops him with a counter hit. And once again here, new stuff. So a little bit of a cinematic shift, very clear, a big attack just happened. The visual feedback is very good. Stella then goes for something like back punch punch, new string maybe, and then regular punch punch punch, but then Akira sort of falls to the ground, so the rule set's different here. So say that back punch punch is guaranteed after that counter hit move, sure, whatever, right? Then he's put into a crumple state. Normally, if you're put into a crumple state, like something like punch 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 would begin to like juggle you, would begin to float you. And instead, he's grounded, and the kick that comes after almost misses. Still hits him at the end, but almost misses. So there's definitely rule set changes as well. Perhaps in an attempt to make the new Virtua Fighter more real world martial arts, they're going to be cutting down on juggles, right? Because say someone like Aui's like 90 pounds, and if she's like juggling 300-pound Jeffrey in the air, that's not terribly realistic, but it's also the way it's always been done. So maybe it's time for a new way for things to happen. Not to say there's no flash though, because this is flashy as hell. This big leap up kick throw, and also even the throw animations are getting changed here, right? It's not just she extends both her hands forward, then check yes on throw animation, then the throw animation plays out. So even the beginning of the throw is definitely different to indicate what kind of move that is gonna be. And it looks cool as hell, frankly. So next up here, Akira blocks the very big boot. Akira goes for hop knee, which then Stella steps. So stepping is still the same, so stepping is still good. No dumb bad side steps like Tekken. This is how it should work. And then we close out the round, and once again, the cinematic presentation's been going up through the roof, and then we get this nonsense. The big close-up, right? So when Sarah gets the hit, like the punch hits, and given the flash here, like the little bit of like an electric spark, I'm assuming that's the hit that actually kills. Then like quick cinematic replay, fine, and then extra cinematic. Like he's losing a tooth that's flying out of Akira's mouth here, right? So if you want a very clear, definitive way to show who just won the round, this is, I think, a pretty good way to show who just lost and who just won. So yeah, the graphics look good too. You can like see his like chin squishing up against his nose, right? Like, so this looks fantastic. VF was a little bit dry on the visuals, and something like this is just straight up sassy. I like it a lot. And that's the gameplay that we got. So no UI, still a lot of details to be figured out, assuredly. Like, there's so much we don't know, but this is giving us a good idea of where things are going. So we still have the like very real world martial arts presentation. Stella is not growing wings and shooting lasers like a Tekken character. You know, Akira's not throwing fireballs or anything like that. Juggle combos are still there, but don't seem to juggle as high. Keeping people closer to the ground, I guess, keeps fights a bit more of a realistic style of feeling, which is not bad. I actually don't mind that direction at all. You still get combos, you still get juggles, but it's not just, I'm launching you 15 feet into the air kind of juggles, at least from what we've seen. Could still be there in some way, but just the rules as we've seen them don't work exactly like, say, a VF5 would. You know, got new animations for classic. This is definitely Virtua Fighter. You know, we have a new cinematic presentation on a lot of things, but this is VF. They're not rewriting the whole thing. They're keeping what works, but putting in new stuff. Because, like, once again, this defensive stance, don't know what it is, but that's definitely all new. This, like, sort of debuff that can lead to, like, a deadly blow, fatal blow situation, that's definitely all new. Adding new elements of risk and reward, perhaps. We'll have to see at Tokyo Gameshow. Hopefully we get to see a bit more. But even still, the pace is fast, fast, fast. If this is a standard round, this is quick. Once again, classic VF, like Virtua Fighter 5, the round timer is 45 seconds. We're not a go to timeout kind of game. Virtua Fighter is fast and mean. You get in each other's faces and you fight. I was already really excited. I think everyone knows that. But now seeing here, I got faith in the vision. I am picking up what they're putting down. Gameplay wise, I like where this is going a lot. Now, a lot of my biggest questions aren't even gameplay. It's like, who friggin' is Stella? Who is Stella? We still don't know. Is it Sarah's daughter? Is it a clone? Is it Dural? Judgment 6, the Illuminati? What shenanigans are they playing? I just want to know who Stella is. It is seemingly clear now that we have gameplay. She is Sarah's replacement. So I don't think Sarah Bryant is coming back, considering she has so many of Sarah's moves. But all will be revealed in time. So once again, Tokyo Gameshow is our next appearance for Virtua Fighter. That will be later in September, I believe September the 25th. And hopefully it's going to be a big blowout because you're putting a lot of questions in my head. There's a lot of things I need to be revealed now, or at least explained in more detail. I've never had anything less than total faith in RGG Studios as it is, and it looks like they are cooking on this one. But that all said, that's it for me, and that's it for the video. Please, by all means, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Very excited for Virtua Fighter. I hope you are too. But all that said, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Virtua Fighter.
Oh, yeah.